Vitale. Morning, Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you guys?
We're doing well. It sounds like you're planning some stuff.
I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
It's gonna be a fun, crazy year.
yeah. So
starting out.
Let's talk about the first. Let's talk about the proposed concert venue that
Everybody wants to talk
that
about.
everyone
right now.
wants to talk about. Yeah. So
Good or bad, right?
yeah, good or bad. It's interesting because we followed you, and you put on these big shows here, there, everywhere. But having
Right.
a stationary venue, there's a lot to be said about that. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, that's the key. As I have indicated in previous interviews, the difficulty that you have for my team, for artists, for everything logistically is it's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but it makes it difficult when you're going from one location to the next.
Yeah.
To the next. And we've been very fortunate to have great relationships with different businesses in the community in different areas. And we're very thankful for that. But again, the difficulty then becomes, people want you to come and do something when you start being more and more successful.
Right.
So when you do a show at a certain place and then somebody says, hey, we'd like you to do it. Okay, yeah, does it make sense logistically?
Right.
Does it make sense financially? Does it make sense all that? And so when this piece of property, and it's interesting because people will say venue, and of course people assume venue, they think DTE,
Right.
They think
Actual amphitheater and stands.
correct.
Yeah.
That's not that. This is a piece of property that we're just utilizing to be our home base, so that we can not have to worry about the logistics every single time.
Sure.
It also, on the other end of things, for the customer, makes it very easy because then they know exactly what they're coming to every single time. Our loyal followers, our fans, people that are coming, we don't like to have, hey, Andy, we're going to this place, and then you're telling your wife the next time, well, where are they at next?
Sure. Yeah.
And how do we get there, and where's parking?
Yeah.
And this becomes a consistent,
Sure. Yeah.
process for everybody involved.
Yeah. One thing I learned about certain bands and things like that is that some require a certain size stage. So you could have something that works well at the Grand,
Correct.
but not at a bar.
Correct. And there are artists, which is intriguing that you say that, because there's a lot of people that don't realize, such as our relationship with Michigan Theater. There are artists that will not play a seated venue. They do not play in a seated venue. We've had artists we've gone after who are major artists, and they're like, I'm not playing on a golf course.
Yeah.
They don't like that stigma. They don't want that stigma for
Sure.
some reason.
Interesting.
They don't understand what we do to the
Yeah.
driving range. We make it a concert venue, but
Yeah.
so it's very hard to convince certain artists and bigger artists that we're starting to look at to be invested in us without having a true,
Interesting.
I say venue, but we've had people that say I'm not playing a sunflower field.
yeah.
I've had people that say we're not playing a parking lot.
Yeah.
I get it.
Sure.
Wow,
interesting.
So
So it's Country Boots and Bands series that you've had, and you've had it all over the area, and now you've got a piece of land in Clark Lake
yep.
that you're asking Clark Lake Township to approve the venue, the site plan,
Correct.
so that you can start having concerts there as soon as this summer.
Correct, yeah. We've got a show locked in for June 23rd. We can't announce that one yet. I can tease it and say that this is the biggest artist that we've ever had. They have more than 10 number one hits. They've got more than 3 country music albums. So
Big time.
This is one of those artists where the venue
Is important.
determines whether or not you can get them.
Okay.
What are their initials? You brought some.
BH.
TT.
You brought some graphics, some slides.
Yeah, we've got stuff coming up already. I mean, you've got
Yeah.
Chris Jansen in February.
Chris Jansen, Tim Montana. Yeah, this is going to be a heck of a dynamic duo on February 11th. Very few tickets left, so we're encouraging people to snag those up before they're gone. It's going to be a great show.
I was thinking about St. Patrick's Day. There's always tons of stuff to do, but you guys kind of have a full day deal thing going here?
Yeah, well, Randy Lemaster, a good friend of mine and good sponsor, came to me and said, hey, he goes, I want to have a St. Patrick's Day party. And I said, okay, well, we can't do it inside. There's just not enough room. So
Right.
we're going to take the area in the back parking lot surrounded by all the bright walls, which will be just cool as heck, and have live music from Bad Penny, which is a classic cover band. And then, of course, you know, most people in this town know who DJ Mike Holiday is. So all kinds of giveaways. We've got over 100 T-shirts to give away. We've got.
You're bringing Scott Clow back to Jackson?
We are bringing. Well, he hasn't left. He's just been. he's been undercover for a little bit.
Look at that. We'll see it.
But yeah, he's agreed to MC it, so that'll be fun to have him back. He's MC'd most of my shows.
That's cool.
And he's great to work with, and
awesome.
he knows how to entertain the crowd too. So, yeah, we're excited about just a small, good party there. And then Priscilla Block. This is our first, I would say, quote unquote, venture outside of Jackson.
Okay.
This event is going to be held at Wayside Central in Mount Pleasant.
Bart's been there.
Yeah, a couple of times.
No, just once for my younger brother's bachelor party.
Okay. So this is going to be held up at Wayside Central. About an hour and 20-minute drive from Jackson. So we've got a lot of fans up there, and the owner up there asked to have a venue. Here's another point. Priscilla Block did not want to play. The original game plan was to have her play on March 23rd there, and then play in Jackson on March 24th. She won't play a theater yet.
Okay.
She wants to play, and I'm quoting her, on places where my feet stick to the floor.
Well, that's it.
And Wayside is
That's it. But that's a good space. I mean, it's a
great
big space.
Yeah. So again, it's the dynamics of an artist that will certain artists will play one place and not the other. And then Drake White. I am over the top excited about this guy. They call him the Reverend White. He has a very, I would say, Americana, gospel-y kind of country sound. Huge loyal following. He's been on tour with Whiskey Myers. He's been on tour with some of the bigger artists like Zach Brown Band and things of that nature. So he's coming into Jackson. The Optimus Ice Arena, we're going to do that indoors. Again, this is a venue he didn't want to play in a seated venue, so I couldn't take him to the theater.
Yeah.
So we have to find...
What's that going to look like at Optimist?
Just like you would see at Little Caesars Arena or any other Grand or Van Andel.
Yeah, Van Andel.
We're going to have a stage on the one end. We're going to have everything there.
Cool.
It's not going to be any different than any of the others. And then this is breaking news. So we've announced that we're doing a Christmas in July weekend with our friends out there at Aggie's, but we are doing a dueling piano show on Friday night. And then on Saturday night, we've got the largest Jimmy Buffett tribute band coming in on Saturday night for our entire Christmas in July theme. So we're going to have all kinds of giveaways. We're going to do some donations to local charities and things like that, like we normally do during the Christmas time, but we're going to do it the halfway to Christmas kind of deal.
You've got a lot of late bedtimes coming up for yourself, sir. A lot of work.
I don't get much sleep anyways, period. So my sleep pattern is never good anyways, but...
Yeah. Are you starting to become, I know you always have been, but a pretty big country music fan yourself?
I have, yeah. And, I've always had my roots in Napoleon. I've never been, I would consider, country.
Right.
I'm not going to fake anybody else out by saying that I am, because I'm not. But, country music, just like a lot of other music, has changed over the years. It's evolved. Mm-hmm. There is some country pop that I like. There's some country pop that I don't like, and then there's some grassroots stuff that I like the Drake Whites and the Whiskey Myers and the the alternative country kind of folks. So I'm open to a lot of different music, but yeah, country has really become my mainstay and my knowledge area, my lane, so to speak. But yeah, it's good for me. Yeah. So it's good for the community. Yeah, so far, so good.
I have something in common with some of your artists. I can't play on a golf course either.
No, true.
Well, good luck with the season and at Clark Lake. I know you've got some work to do to get everything set up for that.
Yes, we do.
Thanks for coming in.
I appreciate you having me.
Scott.
Thanks.
Yeah, promoter, owner of Rain Productions and Country Boots and Bands, Scott Vitale. The morning show continues